Springtime is the perfect time to make this awesome, unique jelly. If you hate these dandelions in your yard, before you spray them, pick a bunch, make this awesome dandelion jelly. Okay, now that I have all of my dandelions, I'm going to peel off the green parts of it and make sure that it fits a 4-cup glass so that I have enough for our dandelion tea. Okay, looks like we got 4 cups, so we should be good. To make the dandelion tea, what we are first going to do is add 4 cups of water to a pot. We're going to heat it to simmering and then add in 2 cups of our dandelion petals. I'm just giving a quick stir to make sure that they're all submerged and going to simmer those for 10 minutes. You can see how the petals are turning the outer pot of it a little yellow. This does come off, just so you know, but if you're worried about it, you can use a stainless steel pan. Once the 10 minutes is up, we will remove the petals with a slotted spoon or a sieve. Gonna strain out as much liquid as possible. Okay, adding in the second and the last 2 cups and steep that for another 10 minutes. So I just put it back in the same measuring cup as I had the petals in to begin with, strained out as much water as possible. So I'm just adding enough water here to equal 3 cups of dandelion tea. Now we're going to pour it into a clean pot. You can use the same one as you did before. I just happen to like the even cooking of this one because I have electric coil. Going to get that up to a boil, but before we do, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 packet of pectin. Gonna give that a stir, make sure that's all broken up. We don't want any clumps in there. It will dissolve, but I figured it'd be safer than sorry. Once it's at a simmer, and it's all dissolved, we're going to add in 4.5 cups of sugar. I know that seems like an awful lot, but for shelf-stable jams and jellies, they always use lemon juice and a crap ton of sugar, so that's where we're going to go with this. And that is actually going to help us get that nice honey sort of flavor out of this jam. You can see how it's thickening up here quite a bit. I'm just stirring it constantly. Okay, remove it from the heat and I'm going to skim off foam at the top. And now we just carefully ladle into your hot prepared sterilized jars. I'm just doing the small ones because I know that our family doesn't go through a large one fast enough. Unless you're doing marinade, this is really good for chicken marinade if you add herbs and things to it, so it's very versatile, but for everyday dandelion jelly, these are perfect sizes. You know, make sure you give a little bit of headspace at the top if you've never done this before, so that it can expand. Wipe off anything on the outside so you get a really good seal. You can tap them to remove air bubbles if you want. Make sure that you get your lids and rings on just tight enough. Don't do them super tight. If you've never canned before, you want some of that. You want to be loose enough so that the expansion can happen and it can seal it properly. We're going to place it on our canning rack. Now I had to get a little bit creative with this one because it's not designed for these small guys, but it worked out just fine. Place it in your water bath canner in boiling water, and then we're going to process them for 7 minutes. After 7 minutes, we remove them. Be careful not to burn your fingers. I like to just make sure that all that water's tipped off of it so I don't get it all over the place. I happen to be very messy in the kitchen, but you know, that means we're having fun, right? Then what we do is we're just going to make sure that the lids are on and that nothing has popped after a few minutes, and let them sit for about 24 hours to make sure that it did seal. Anything that doesn't seal properly or, you know, has already popped up, you want to either eat that first or reprocess it. And I just clean off the tops of these because our water is very, very hard here. If you want yours to be a little more yellow and stand out, you can add yellow food coloring. I just prefer not to because I don't like artificial stuff in my food. And keep in mind, this hasn't been in the fridge. It's just been sitting out, so it will firm up when you do stick it in the fridge. So it is a little bit, you can see it's just a little bit soft still. All right, let's give it a shot. That's really good. It's lemony, but it's also got like a honey, it's like a honey lemon jam. That's really good. I think this would be really good for marinades. You could probably use it on chicken or maybe a simple syrup. We'll have to play around with that and do some more, but if you have some dandelions in your yard that are not sprayed, go ahead and give this a shot. I think it's worth it.